Sandeep, Lata. Sandeep, you said that you believe that this is an opportunity to buy because this has helped perhaps correct a little bit of the froth that we were already seeing in the market. What would you buy into at this point in time, Sandeep? What is looking good to you, both in terms of valuations as well as in terms of future earnings?
So, Shireen, frankly speaking, let's look at the larger thesis. What was driven, India capex cycle, infrastructure thesis. Okay, I think these are the two sectors where market was very constructive, and some hype also got bought in some of these pockets. Let's look at some of the sector which is completely neglected down. Let's say consumption names, IT names. Okay, for various reasons, IT has corrected. If IT corrects further, that could be a great buying opportunity. We strongly believe consumption names has already reached a neglected phase, okay, where they are looking attractive and rural economy is coming back. That could be the area. Maybe if financials also correct meaningfully, I think that's the area which we can increase our exposure further from the current level. And even some of the larger names. So right now, like our focus will be on the large cap companies rather than looking at the smaller and mid caps name, because even from the let's look at from FI perspective. FIs are finding it difficult to come back to India purely on the valuation perspective, because India on the relative to China or related to EM or even related to some of the DM market was relatively more expensive. With this steep fall, I think they may also start looking or pondering to coming back to India. So I think I will look for a larger caps name initially to start with, and then venture into small and mid caps names. So some of the sector which we still like, I think financial should do well. If you look at a larger infra thesis, will continue to do. Consumption is looking good. So I think there's some of the areas which we look at. I will not say that I've been very vocal for last many months that easy phase of bull run is over in India also. We are in decisive bull run, but within decisive bull run, we are in a difficult phase. Okay. Okay.
Same
If that
question.
background, then we have to look at the sector rotation, stock rotation will play a very important role rather than saying that I'm going to hold this stock for 5 years and 10 years.
Fair point. What about your thoughts? Opinion, Sandeep Tandon, the founder and CIO of Quant Mutual Fund, is also joining us. Sandeep, given that political stability for the moment looks a little under the weather, do you think valuations will now come under threat? Do you think, we come down to 19 times or 18 times?
So, Lata, frankly speaking, from a very near-term possibility is high that you might see some sort of re-rating in certain stocks, certain like capex stock or PSU, which has a rate significant. You might see, but ultimately, what we have to look at is something is going to change from a longer-term perspective. And the answer is big no. Given the Indian macro, which we have seen, I always say in the last 33 years, I have not seen this sort of macro ever in my life. On absolute basis, they are great, and relative basis, they are extraordinary. Now, how you look at this opportunity? I will look at a buying opportunity. Okay, look at the one of the channels I was talking about, the VIX level. VIX is closer to 30 mark. Okay, typically it peaks out around 32-34% mark, unless you have a COVID-like situation go up to 86%, which is not the case. So we are now looking at either we believe that my market has broken down completely, or it's a buying opportunity. So we are looking at VIX is peaking out, and a lot of people are looking at VIX breaking out. So I think that's the way the perception is. Now, what we have to look at the narrative. Obviously, narrative has been about certain developments, certain policies, but I think in reality, nothing will change, okay, except our mindset, because which were so used to certain way of doing things. So that could be a change which might take a quarter's time to accept a new reality, and everything will come back to normal. So as an institution player, as a mutual fund house, and when we manage long-term money of the investor, I think I'm looking at a great buying opportunity. We have seen this 15-20% cut in last post-COVID also on multiple occasion. Market has fallen sharply, and I will say market is becoming very healthy when this extraordinary hype or with the froth which get built in certain pocket of the sectors or in the economy, I think it's opportunity. So I will look as a buying opportunity rather than getting panic, and I will request a lot of people to use this opportunity to increase your exposure in India, given the Indian macro, which is very, very constructive. So I think I will look as an opportunity rather than getting capitulated at this point of time.
Okay, can we just bring up the intraday of the Nifty? The time when I was telling you that 22,000 is being given up, since then it has given up 200 points actually. We are now at 21,800 and change. So intraday of the Nifty, as you can see, in the last 10 minutes or so, there has been a slightly steep fall. Perhaps the market is counting in that as you get deeper and deeper into the counting cycle, the feeling that perhaps there will be a change. After all, these are leads. These are not seats. These are leads. These are not wins. We were all telling ourselves, let's not jump the gun. But as the hour ticks on, the clock ticks on, you want to convert leads into wins, and that inductive leap is coming in the market. Sandeep, Shireen, would you say that now this trend getting seriously reversed